afternoon and welcome from the National Stadium of Windsor Park. But this afternoon, the Northern Ireland Women's squad was named for the forthcoming European Championships. We spoke to manager Kenny Shiels after the announcement, and here's what he had to say. Kenny, new goalkeeper in the squad, and Shannon Turner. What can you tell us about her and how did she come about?
Well, it was over at Wolverhampton. Dwayne and I, we went to watch her playing. Got soaked that night too, and it was difficult to see what level she's at, but she's got good stature, she's got a good presence, and she did well. And then I went to watch her again in the playoff final in Stockport I was able to watch my Southampton players as well, because Southampton were playing against Wolves in the playoff, so I seen her then, and she's showing good signs. She's 24, 25, perfect age, and I'm hoping that we can develop her, and Dwayne can develop her into becoming a world-class international goalkeeper. There's so many pitfalls that lie ahead, but we'll do our best to try and help her.
Will she challenge for the number one spot initially, or more?
Well,
three?
If you've got three goalkeepers, they're all challenging for the number one, and that's the way we want it to be.
In terms of the team itself, obviously we've qualified for the tournament on a very big high of constant wins and so forth. Felt we could beat anybody. Now we're having a bit of a bad spell. Is there a fear that that confidence might be zapped from before they get into the tournament?
The one thing you have to understand, Colin, there's two tiers in women's football. The top 12 teams in Europe, right? We don't play them in successive games normally. But we're playing them in the World Cup in April, and we're playing them in the Euros. So our last 5 games and these next 3 were against the upper echelons of world football, every single opponent. But if you're in a group, you'll get a bit of a respite from that. You'll play a Latvia, and then you'll play maybe 2 of the best teams in Europe, and then you'll play a Luxembourg. Are you with me? So to get the sequence of those games all in a row, you're going to lose them all potentially. It's not a big thing, because you're playing England twice, Austria twice, you're playing Belgium away, you're playing England, Austria, and Norway. Are you with me? So those 4 or 5 defeats or something like that, it's not anything to be ashamed of. We took Austria right up to it. We gave it to them. We kept England out. So there's good things happen in those games. Are we ever going to be as good as those upper echelons of Europe? It's a big ask. But we're going to try and get there with more participation, with a lot of work going on underneath. And then I'll be able to answer that question, because it hasn't been a bad period for us. Okay. We've just been beaten by a team that they were miles better than us in terms of where they're at.
Final one for me, just in terms of, this is obviously the biggest stage these girls have ever played on. Obviously you're hoping that they'll raise their game for the occasion. Is there any fear that they might sort of freeze on the big occasion?
Can't answer it. I'm depending on them, Colin. I'm sure we won't be able to say who's going to be nervous. I think there's a lot of freedom in our girls under how we've worked with them, and it's up to myself and my staff to make sure that they're not worried about losing a football match when they maybe have a relative who's dying of cancer. You know, where's the problem here? The cancer patient, obviously. So we try to de-stress them, and we talk about that as well, about how unimportant football is in terms of people's lives. So we put it into perspective, and we try to let them know and understand that they should feel proud to represent their country at this level. So we're hoping to try and get that connected.